Your Excellency, it gives me great pleasure to accept your credentials as the first plenipotentiary representative of the Republic of Kazakhstan to the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. The act of accreditation is a deliberate gesture of friendship and partnership and a commitment to build and grow together. Ambassador, please know that your country's interest in strengthening ties with those of the Caribbean community is well received, appreciated, and reciprocated. In his letter to me, nominating you as your country's first plenipotentiary representative to CARICOM, your Minister of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Irwin noted Kazakhstan's interest in building trade, investment, and people-to-people ties with CARICOM. I believe that is an excellent place to start. I recall vividly the meeting between your Foreign Minister and his CARICOM counterparts in the margins of the United Nations General Assembly last September, which you just mentioned. There was excellent chemistry and camaraderie during the interface. The community's support for your country's bid to host Expo 2017 in your beautiful and modern new capital, Astana, and CARICOM's intended participation in this event provide a fine opportunity for us to concretize the common interests outlined by Minister Idrisov. The theme of the Expo, Energy of the Future, with a focus on renewable energy, is of keen interest to CARICOM countries as we seek to implement the region's energy policy. The proposal by our ministers during that meeting in New York that we work together to develop projects in sustainable energy is one that we must seek to expedite. That form of energy will not only be powering our future development, but also be a means of safeguarding our very special but fragile natural environment. Excellency, we have already begun talks about concluding a memorandum of understanding between our countries to better structure our future cooperation. An MOU is, I believe, a most appropriate next step in advancing our relations. It is my hope that we can finalize the MOU before long. However, even as we await the conclusion of this MOU, technical cooperation between Kazakhstan and CARICOM countries has already begun, as you've stated. Kazakhstan is supporting the development of an integrated water resource management policy for the region. We thank your country for that, Excellency, and look forward to the commencement of other projects in due course. I am pleased to note, Ambassador, that political dialogue and cooperation between our countries have been an important dimension of our relationship to date. Given the issues being addressed globally this year, there is scope for much political cooperation between us. We are living in critical times for small island developing states, SIDS, and small vulnerable economies of the world. The upcoming UN Special Summit on Sustainable Development and the 21st Conference of the Parties of the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change are of particular importance. We ask our friends, such as Kazakhstan, to be sensitive to our positions. CARICOM countries are amongst the smallest emitters, but amongst the most adversely affected by the phenomenon of climate change, which has manifested itself, for example, through unusual patterns of rainfall in our region. And as you've mentioned, the experience of St. Lucia and St. Vincent and the Grenadines in 2013, and most recently in Dominica, has provided sufficient evidence of its devastating effects, and I do thank you for your kind sentiments. We are in need of support and resources to address the severe challenges of the effects of climate change in order to build our resilience. Excellency, our nations, though small, have taken on significant issues of principle, equity, and justice, and brought them to the attention of the international community. One of the key issues is continued access to multilateral and bilateral concessional financing, the criteria for which must not be based solely on GDP per capita. This must be changed to include the economic and environmental vulnerability of SIDS, particularly as we create the framework for financing for development and seek to attain sustainable development goals. Another significant issue is the unjust listing of some CARICOM members and associate members as non-cooperative tax jurisdictions. Such actions have the potential to adversely affect the financial services sector in the region, with implications for economic growth. We count on Kazakhstan's support and advocacy with regard to our positions in these issues in the relevant forum. Ambassador, before I close, let me assure you that the community has taken note of your country's request for support for its bid for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council in 2017 and 2018. This should be considered by the community. In bidding you a very warm welcome and sincere congratulations on your assumption of this post, my staff and I look forward to rich and frequent exchanges of views with you and an increase in cooperation with your country as we continue to build strong ties and an enduring friendship. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.